And now the news. The Virgin Islands government has signed a $16 million loan agreement with the Social Security Board to finance an ongoing road improvement program. Government recently announced plans to spend $15.2 million to widen and strengthen 14 sections of road across Tortola. Speaking at the signing ceremony held Thursday, April 16th at the Premier's conference room, Communications and Works Minister Mark Vanterpool said road improvement work is also being done throughout the territory.
The Ministry of Communications and Works, through the Public Works Department, has already started work on the 4 major projects on Tortola, even as the road resurfacing takes place as necessary on all of the islands. The resurfacing of over half a mile of road has been completed from the Beef Island Bridge to Parham Town. This phase of works also included the installation of proper drainage and sidewalks. On the eastern end of the island, major road improvements will continue following the installation of the gravity feed sewage lines from Parham Town Junction to Long Swamp. This would include a full road resurfacing, including sidewalks and drainage improvements. The final phase of the eastern road improvements will follow the 4th main sewage line installation from Long Swamp to Paraquita Bay later this year. We are also upgrading the water mains from 6-inch to 8-inch lines. In the meantime, another phase of road improvements from Rudy's Bar in Mayors to the Soldier Hill Junction is about 70% complete. This project includes drainage improvement, culvert crossings, retaining walls, and the complete asphalt resurfacing of this road. Work on the section of road from the Bellevue Junction to Spring Gut has already started, while work in the areas of Mayors to Charlwell, Charlwell to Windy Hill, Carrot Bay to West End, and from Slaney to Seacows Bay by the Ebenezer Thomas Primary School is presently ongoing. Today we have a team from the Public Works Department over in Anegada laying asphalt throughout the settlement. We are also preparing to undertake works on Virgin Gorda and will be on Jos van Dyke later this year with some road works.
Chairman of the Social Security Board, Paul Webster QC, outlined the process used by the board to issue loans. He pointed out that the investment policy of the Social Security Board is diversified with a view to reduce risk. Webster says the board has invested some $81 million in public sector socioeconomic loans since 1991. And while $33 million is outstanding, there has never been a default in repayments.
Socioeconomic investments are allocated at 20 to 30% space in the fund's investment portfolio. Socioeconomic loans, as the name suggests, are investment in public sector projects that are intended to benefit the community. When reviewing investment opportunities designated as socioeconomic investment, the board places first priority on the economic benefit of each investment to the fund, and second priority on the social and economic benefits to the society as a whole. When an application is presented to the board, the investment manager carries out full due diligence and analysis to ensure that the loan meets the board's criteria for lending. His report is then considered by the investment committee, which makes a final decision on the application. Since 1991, the board has invested $81,449 in public sector socioeconomic loans at an average rate of return of 5.7 6% per annum, far more than you can get on a certificate of deposit in any bank. Many of these loans have been repaid in full, and the current amount on the outstanding loans is $33,333. This amount represents 6.8% of the board's overall portfolio, which is far less than the 20 to 30% allocated by the investment policy statement to socio-economic investments.
The House of Assembly recently approved the borrowing of the $16 million loan from the Social Security Board to fund the road improvement project. Communications and Works Minister Mark Vanderpool also responded to a question from JTV News' Sean Rose about the status of the Virgin Gorda Lee Road project under the Caribbean Development Bank loan program. Minister Vanderpool indicated that a contract is expected to be signed shortly. He also gave an update on the installation of guardrails on Virgin Gorda.
The Lee Road, as you may know, involves some major drain improvement to that road, and then we're going to resurface the entire road. Cabinet has approved, and documents are being prepared to award the contract to a local contractor. I don't remember the amount now, is in the range of 1.5 or something like that for that project out of the CDB funding. So the cabinet has approved. We are getting ready to, I believe it's at the Attorney General's office, to have the documents ready for signing. So it's another election year signing, but this is the ongoing process we've been going through to deal with the CDB loan project. So you'll hear about that in a very short time, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Dr. Glasgow, I believe, is getting to that point. So we're going to be signing that, and hopefully we can get off the ground with that project. It's very, very well needed, especially when it comes up to the rainy season. So we hope we can get it moving and get that project done as we go along. And as you know, the member for the 9th has been asking about that, especially on the new road that was built. And that has started. A number of projects on the guardrails have begun. Public Works is directing that. And so it's in the execution stage right now.
Meanwhile, Minister Vanderpool said work is in progress to install street signs, which will be followed by the assignment of numbers to buildings in the territory.
I don't know if you have noticed, but I drove through Old Town yesterday and was very pleased to see many new street signs that have been installed throughout the capital city. The intention is to properly identify the names of these streets and later on facilitate the national addressing system, which was started many years ago to number our buildings and assist with our mailing system. Ladies and gentlemen, as Minister of Communications and Works, directed by the Premier to carry out my portfolio, I am ecstatic at the number of important infrastructural projects underway and being completed.